We continue to watch here on CBS News 24/7 this breaking news playing out. Louisville, Kentucky, Phoenix Hill neighborhood. A building collapsed and one person is trapped. You are seeing first responders there, all of their attention around what is sort of a hole or a crevasse there where that building collapsed. On the right side, you see the hydraulics there. They are pushing a piece of wood up against the rubble. That's to keep it from collapsing down on the person that they are trying to rescue. We just heard a moment ago that they have medics also coming there to help this person. And we have the opportunity to listen in on an update that was given just a second ago from one of the first responders. Let's listen in.
Right now, there's one individual who is currently being rescued. It's going to take a while. But here to give a briefing on what occurred and what's taking place right now is Louisville Fire Chief Brian O'Neill.
So here's what we have so far. We have, there were about 6 workers that were on site working on demolition. One of those workers at about 11:40 fell into a void space, and when they fell, a lot of rubble and debris came down on top of them and they were pinned. Immediately, they ceased operations, called 911. We received the call, it was dispatched, and we had companies on scene within 3 minutes. As soon as we got on scene, we set up, we realized what we're dealing with is what we would call confined space rescue or trench rescue. A little bit different than structural collapse because nothing fell. This is something that a person fell into. We have all the experts that do this on a regular basis train on this type of thing. So they set up, the individual that's in there is talking to us. He is Spanish speaking only, but Captain Ramirez from Rescue 11 Quint 7 is bilingual and is speaking to him right now. They have got, this is a very, very slow process. So you need to understand this might take another hour or 3 to gradually, because every time you shift anything, that can cause other things to happen within all that debris pile that they're moving to get to this person. Louisville EMS is on site working with us as well. They are going to provide a paramedic once we clear enough debris around his chest and arms so that we can start providing medical care, oxygen, intravenous fluids if we need. That'll happen. So we will we'll put a harness on that medic and get them to him as soon as there's enough space to do so. We have multiple firefighters, about 5 different companies that are on scene. Reason being, if you're thinking it's one person, one area, we have to constantly move people in and out to make sure that we've got fresh bodies, fresh hands working on this incident. Again, let's see if make sure I get on my notes here. I think that's it. If there are any questions, yeah, this is a contractor. These aren't city employees. This is a contractor. As I mentioned, there were about 6 workers that were working on site. But again, they ceased operations as soon as this happened, called us immediately. We got here in about 3 minutes.
Does he indicate that he's hurt? Is he okay?
So we do not know the extent of the injuries, but again, we are at least able to communicate a little bit with him, but he is pinned. It is a precarious situation.
How far down?
So from where he was, he went down about maybe 10, 12 feet. But we're to him right now. We're clearing things around him, talking to him.
On that update to a rescue that is happening right now in Louisville, Kentucky, in that Phoenix Hill neighborhood after a building collapse. If the gentleman standing to the left of that first responder looks familiar to you, that is Mayor Craig Greenberg of Louisville, Kentucky. You saw him right here on CBS News 24/7 just 48 hours ago because of the explosion that happened at a plant there that killed 2 people in Louisville, Kentucky. These situations not connected, but really draws a line and it punctuates the fact that first responders have to be trained, and they have had a very busy week in Louisville, Kentucky. The good news here, it looks like the person who's trapped there in the Phoenix Hill neighborhood will get out and get out alive.